Alright.
It works. Good. That just stays, the plastic thing stays on. Just broken the line.
Okay, I'll set this up.
So where do we want this? Maybe above?
Yeah, literally where the seats. Even if you just put it on top of the case there and just shove it down.
It's not really much. Oh, can't be more than like $500. And if it does,
I set it back up.
Is that good enough? That could be better.
It could be brighter. Right? That's
James, does this, like, can you change the brightness on it? Or,
yeah.
How?
Just one brightness.
Yeah, so it's just one brightness?
Yeah.
I mean, I can put it here.
Turn off.
Yep.
Yeah, we use it for tidy up later.
Can you charge it up or something?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, no. How is there a cable for it?
That's nothing. Final walk. We test.
What sort of kid is Mark buying you? Kid. As cheap as possible. Who said that?
I can put this here.
Favour to you there. Like you spoke to Labour back to.
I'll switch to the bottom. It's big. So it's down and straight.
Yeah, go flavour.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to see like it?
Do I need to do anything with this, Felix?
Huh?
Do I need to get a test on this one or anything? Or?
Yeah, maybe wait for Sam to come back up though. And we'll test. Yeah, do I get a set? No. Is there only one commentator?
No, this coming.
Okay.
He's the main man. He's the main man. Don't let go nothing. It's a 3-camera game.
James, do I have a headphone set?
Here?
We're sharing. So is it a run through the comms setting?
There are no comms for wireless.
The like mics, like the commentator.
Probably is already.
Is it so middle one's atmosphere? So where?
Sort of thanks, boys.
That isn't used for anything, guys. That's just commentator side tone.
Is this going?
Should be alright. If you get a call from Mark,
Yeah. Had we tested the mics were working? Hello, this is very loud. Hang on. Yeah, this is fine over here. Oh yeah, they work. Perfect.
It's not like radio. I work in radio.
Hello, this is working.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Dodgy, you're not. You just arrived.
Oh, cool. You see?
I just sent a message.
Okay, can't dodge again. Wait. Okay. Very easy. Yeah, it's like in the
No, I got held up with just putting her up on the time. Nearly had more. We can have this stand up here.
Have a look, actually. We're here with Matt Jones and Jim. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to Gardens Oval for this round 3 top of the table clash. It's a great way to start this weekend of footy. We've got the Tiwi Bombers hosting Southern Districts Crocs here at Gardens Oval. I'm Will Zwar. With me tonight is Mark Dodge. We've got a pretty enticing clash, as I mentioned, Dodgy, but that bloke on screen there, Matty Dennis, a bit of a commotion for him pre-game.
Yeah, lots of commotion. He's playing his 100th NTFL game, which is a fantastic effort. It's been a legend of the NTFL, and he's a real driving force and a leader, natural leader in that district side.
Yeah, absolutely, and you would have noticed on the screen just before that he was wearing the Mason Cox goggles. We noted that in round 1. We'll try and work out what's going on there in the weeks to come. Might try and get a boundary line interview with him.
It's got to be tough to wear those out in this heat, I reckon.
Absolutely, and with the humidity as well, wouldn't want them to fog up too much at all.
Definitely not.
But yeah, we've got obviously probably the front runners of the competition this season so far in Southern Districts coming up against what I would call the most exciting team in the competition in Tiwi. What do you think we're in for tonight?
Well, the competition's always great when Tiwi's up and about, and they certainly are at the moment. They're doing everything right, being obviously very active in the off-season with some recruiting. Unfortunately, a couple of the recruits are missing tonight, but yeah, it's exciting. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, and I can't see either side getting any dominance right into the last 4 or 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the game.
One of those blokes who's missing is Marlon Pickett, obviously a dual premiership player with the Richmond Tigers. He was playing rugby ruck last week, which I think he did a little bit of that at South Freo before his AFL days. But apart from that, probably not the contract he would have signed to come up here and play ruck, is it?
It's really interesting, isn't it? He played his last game for the Tigers in their last game for the year, and the very next game he plays is out on the Tiwi Islands playing footy and playing in a ruck. So he's an exciting player, isn't he? But I think most of us that love footy would have enjoyed that first game where he came in and played for the Tigers in that grand final and just kicked that magic goal that everyone talks about. But he's a great player, and it's a credit to Bowden and the Tiwi Bombers side to be able to get him up here and playing footy at this part of the season.
Looking down the other end again, and it's Matty Dennis and Wyatt Ryan, two of the biggest blokes you'll see in territory footy. Do you think it's a timely miss from Pickett this weekend?
I say so. They're certainly going to be undersized, aren't they, particularly around those ruck contests and the big contests down forward. And when the game sort of opens up a bit, they're the guys that you want taking the big marks and bringing the ball down the ground. Yeah,
absolutely. And last week we saw, or the first 2 weeks for Southern Districts, they've been pretty dominant. Jared Brander, the spearhead in round one. Last week a much more around the ground performance. I think there was about 3, 4, maybe even 5 players with 4 goals to their name. Mate. What do you think the strengths of their side are?
Well, it is those players that you mentioned, those big towering fellas that can take the big mark in slippery conditions. I know it's not wet, but it's certainly pretty humid out there. I don't know if you've been for a walk out there at the moment, but the ball's slipping around a bit, and it's the fact that they can actually kick goals. That's the key. The strength at this side of ground, on this side's ground particularly, going direct to goal is a great asset. Coming in from those pockets and out through those wings and into goals is what it's really about.
So jumping into the middle of the ground now, we've just got the coin toss. Matty Dennis, you can see there in his 100th game of Premier League footy, alongside Michael Bowden, the captain.
Yep.
And then obviously they're facing off there against Brendan Cantilla and Kim Cantilla.
Second toss.
Looks like Dennis has won it, and they'll be kicking towards the city end as opposed to the casino end. And at the moment, that's the left of your screen, but it will be the right of your screen when we get rolling.
Oh, okay, so it reverses it.
Yeah.
So this is a really exciting game, and because it's at round 3, most of us haven't seen much of these two sides yet. But as I said before, they're certainly doing everything right, and it's exciting for both sides to be at this position early in the year with both being undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned this morning on ABC Radio in our pre-round coverage that I thought that what these two teams have nailed this year, and it's probably what the competition wants to nail, is they've got that top-end talent in, you can see Stevie Motlop there, and opposite him in the circle, Matt Dennis, and down the other end we mentioned Pickett already. They've also got Hams and Sam Darley's that AFL talent, but they also breed the local talent, and we've got the two teams with the first two Men's Premier League rising stars this year. Daniel Murphy saw his game in round 1. He was fantastic. He actually got his nomination last week, but I'm really keen to see what the youngsters can bring tonight.
Yeah, and that's a great part about territory footy, isn't it? This time of year you see the young players. Most coaches are trying out those players that have been good juniors or players that they brought up through the ranks, and they certainly allows them to play some good footy, and that's the great thing. And of course the other thing is the opposition coaches don't really know much about those players, so they can get under the guard a little bit, and some of those rising star footballers will be sort of looked at or tagged or in some way played defensively in the future, but they get a few weeks or a month or two before they start doing that, so it's a good opportunity to establish yourself in territory footy.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about probably a minute and a half away now. Your final remarks and your prediction for tonight, Dodgy?
I think Districts will get the chocolates, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game. It's certainly one which will go the wire, and I think it's all interesting to see how Tiwi do this, because they play that very hard running game, and can they keep that going for 4 quarters against the bigger bodies? That's the key. But I tip Districts under a goal. I reckon maybe 2 goals tops.
Yeah, fair enough. I was thinking a closer game, but just seeing some of those outs, particularly Pickett and Hams, they're two massive leaders for them. I'm going to tip Southern Districts by 35.
Oh, that's a big call.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
So in the ruck, it looks like it'll be Jackson Broadbent starting up against Wyatt Ryan. So the milestone man will have to wait for his chance in ruck, but he's starting in the square, so potentially an early goal on the cards for him. Jed Anderson and Cooper Daly looks like they're getting into it, and Daly's got the job tagging Anderson.
There's a little bit early push and shove. We expect that in this sort of game.
And it's our first Premier League game here at Gardens Oval, spiritual home of Darwin footy. Let's see what we're in store for tonight as the ball goes up. Tapped down by Ryan, kick forward. Volleyed off the ground there by Anderson. Straight forward there to Schwartz, now inside 50. Coming out to it, I think that's Geordie Johnson. It was the Tiwi defender who managed to get his hands to it, but just paddled and kept it in front of him. Hooker lurking there. Looks like we'll have an early ball up inside 50 for the Crocs.
Yeah, and that's an interesting start. They went straight out of the middle and straight down the middle, which is a good tactic, I think, for Crocs.
Dennis now contesting the ruck for Districts. Here comes Anderson, a quick fire handball out the side. There's Clark, he ducked into that one, got the handball out, but intercepted off the ground. Then picked up by Stapleton and taken over the boundary line. So pretty tight and ferocious contest so far in the opening 40 seconds.
Yeah, and Tiwi have got lots of people behind the ball, lots of players down that back line to defend that attack come forward. So they obviously know that's what's going to happen.
Ball comes in high half forward for the Districts. Now gets it out. Here comes Darley. High one into this nearby wing, or dropped by Lake, and it will roll over the boundary line. Touched over the line though.
One that he probably should have taken, but it's early days, so the nerves are going to be up a little bit. Young Dakin.
Ryan, he taps it down to Schwartz, almost tackled as he got it. Handballed through there to Clark. He works it forward, marked by Hooker. Good under pressure there from Matt Shannon. He'll go back. We know he's got a booming kick, Hooker.
He looks short though this time.
Oh, that one was very well placed. Beautifully placed there to Darley. Short one forward. Looks like they're going the short, sharp passes just to ease their way forward, Tiwi, in these early stages.
I think it's a good tactic for them to sort of maintain possession. That's the key to sort of getting sides like this under the pressure a little bit.
He's looked. Oh, gee, he had about 4 bites of the cherry there. Umpire says play on.
I'm not sure what you have to do to get a mark anyway. We'll move that on.
Ball finds itself bottom of the pack. Umpire calls my ball.
Yeah, and you see off the pack there, you can see quite a few Tiwi players looking for that run forward.
Scrimmage in the ruck contest there, and just belted forward by the District's midfielder. Bounces through to Dennis. He might have an opportunity here. Wrapped up in the tackle by McLean. And we'll have another ball up here.
McLean did well then, stopped the run because they looked like they were home if he'd got through that one.
Ryan, another tap down. Now looking at it is Bedford for Tiwi. Joe Farah gets it into the forward pocket. Good lead there. Oh, but great spoil from the defender.
Magic, wasn't it?
Now here comes Anderson. Spills out of one. A short, sharp one. Beautiful pass. Umpire pays it, and that will go to Brody Grace. He'll probably be kicking it from just inside 50 if he has a shot.
Beautiful night for football too. There's no breeze, nothing affecting the game, so he's just got to hit line hard and long.
Hands it off, goes to the square. Farah takes the mark about 5 metres out on a slight angle. He was dominant last week as well out there at Fred's Pass, and really provides these days he almost plays sort of the second or third tall forward, which is a really good role for him because he can just sneak under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, the key defenders go to the key forwards and he sneaks under the radar, exactly as you say. So
And he goes through and opens the account tonight for Southern Districts. They hit the lead first, 1 goal straight, 6. Tiwi yet to score.
And Tiwi, I guess early days, they've got to have a look at what's going in the ruck. Now, we identified that early, Will, that that was going to be an issue. If you're not going to play a recognised ruckman, you've got to learn to rove off the ruckman that is dominating. And I guess that's what they're going to have to do. Those midfielders for Tiwi are going to have to get on top there a little bit, at least put an arm across the body or two just to try and get some pressure on out of that midfield, because they're getting out of the midfield and around the ground really easily, Districts, at the moment. Yeah,
absolutely. I think particularly when you're coming up against two big fellas like Dennis and Ryan, you probably can start that way from the start of the match. You know you're not going to win too many hit-outs, so just prepare early to be reading where they're going to hit it and just make sure you got someone competing in the air, I guess.
100%.
Ball goes up again. Ryan taps it down. Gotten off the ground there by Johnson. Now tackled out on the far side, handballed forward there. Work forward into the arms of Michael Dunn.
He had space everywhere, didn't he? He just got himself in the right position and read the ball beautifully.
Just calling for someone to give him something, and now the defenders have crept back for Southern Districts.
It's probably just beyond his distance, but he's going to have a pop here.
Inside 50, Michael Dunn. Oh, doesn't like that one. Just to the right side and through for a behind, but they're on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and a really effective play from Michael Dunn then. He just he read the ball beautifully out of the pack and did exactly what we said before, which was able to read what was going on in the ruck. We were able to get on top in that ruck in that particular contest, and the result was a shot on goal.
Here comes Stevie Motlop, former Port star, former Geelong star.
Massive kick, 60-odd metres.
Playing off half-back so far this season. Now running into it, here's Matt Shannon. Just paddles it over the boundary line.
Once again, Tiwi got plenty of players around the ball. Districts are playing a more traditional game of football in positions.
Tiwi ruck gets a rare hit out straight into Schwartz though. He gets it out now. Darley handballs it over the top. There's a free kick blown. Will go Tiwi's way.
Something off the ball, I think. I didn't see it.
Sam Darley with the pill in hand. Kicks it into the forward pocket. Penetrating kick. Went over the back now to Anthony Munkara. Fresh off the Essendon list towards goal. Oh, wouldn't that have been something special?
I would have brought the house down, and you can just tell the way these freshly off the list AFL players play the game. They just know what to do with the footy, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And he took a screamer last week. I think he kicked a couple of goals as well. But he's one of those players who's definitely already having a big impact at Tiwi. Big booming kick out.
A big ruckman's
full back.
Yeah.
And he's given away a free kick.
Oh, okay.
So here's Munkara again inside the corridor. Good spoil there from Motlop. Only gets it as far though as done. I think it is. No, it's the Diaz Portjimi over the face, but it's a good mark in the forward pocket going to Scotty Bedford. No, Carlson Cantilla it is.
Cantilla did really well there. He just held his ground, was able to hold the body out, and once again put the body in front and hold that player back, which is difficult to do when the ball's bouncing around like it is.
Looks like he's going to run around onto his left and snap it through. And he likes that one, so Tiwi, they get their first goal on the board and get out to a 2-point lead, Dodgy.
Yeah, look, it's a great start from Tiwi. The first few minutes, I guess they were sort of just feeling the way the game was going. But they've certainly got on top with some of their stars, with Cantilla and Bakara and those guys really winning. And they did, as you quite rightly identified, they actually won that ruck hit out, which makes all the difference when you're on a ground this size. What a beautiful ground to play football on too, though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, being part of the Banks program, it's great to come down here and train, even if you do get the Mozzie infestations from time to time. But yeah, to come and play here and train here is just it's something different. You don't quite get that same, I guess, community and spiritual, I guess, feeling that you get at TIO.
No, the Mozzies and the Plovers are the two things out here, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. The Plovers cause havoc on Oval too, I can tell you that for sure. Now coming out of the middle, or running into a tackle there was Braden McLean. Another good addition to their list this year. Bit of a surprise one from Wanderers in the off-season.
Yeah, I would have thought so. He's the sort of player that you want to build a side around. So, interesting decision.
Now works it out in front of, I think that's in front of Brodie Grace there. But Districts work it forward. Matt Shannon has a shot on and he likes that. Gives them the fist pump straight away. And rebound as easy as you like. So, An early settler from Tiwi instantly responded to by Crocs.
He did, and I tell you what, he kicked that from 45 out and didn't even have to look once. He just knew where the goals were. So a magic goal, an excellent goal, which gives the Tiwi boys a bit of something to think about going forward. And Matty Dennis is still not going into the ruck, so that's an interesting move. I don't know if there's any sort of injury report or...
Yeah, I did note there's no Jared Brander tonight, so obviously they're having to fill that hole up forward. Look, he's not a bad target. We know he's pretty clean, and unlike a lot of ruckmen, he's got good disposal efficiency as well.
Yeah, he's a great kick at the footy too, isn't he?
Now paddled down from Ryan over the top there. I think that was from Palmer. Kick forward by Tiwi though. Great clean pickup. Running through and getting around there. Adam Tipping-Woody kicks it inside 50 again, but only finds the Southern District's defender. That's not a good kick. Straight to Brendan Cantilla, who was on fire. Has been on fire so far this season. I think he kicked 5 back in round 1.
Amazing start to the career, to the year, wasn't it? With 5 goals, it's just...
And he spots another target in Darley, who has also been lively. That's not a great kick. Came to McLean off the half volley and will have a ball up in that forward 50.
Unfortunately, because McLean was well and truly in position then, so if the ball had been clean, they would have been having a good shot on goal there.
Ryan taps it down. Gets it over to Bedford. The handball over the top. Couldn't find his teammate there in Darley. Picked up by Hooker though. Gets a handball out to Dunn. Dunn snaps towards goal. It'll fall short. Punched out by the defender. And now comes to Stevie Motlop. Taps it through. What will the umpire say? All clear. One behind.
Motlop just once again was down back really quickly there and made sure that he was a big thumping ball out of that pack there.
Yeah, another one who I'm not sure if when he signed up, but gee, that's a big kick. When he signed with the Crocs, if he knew he was going to be playing at half back, but it's proven a pretty good move so far this season. I think he just adds a bit more experience and polish.
And I think coaches, being involved myself with footy, I think coaches tend to try a few things this time of year, see how things go.
They work it forward. Here comes Jonathan Ross leading all front runners, but he can't keep his feet, hits the deck. Following him there is Tom Stapleton on the ground. There's a bit of a scrimmage at ground level. Joe Farrell also getting involved.
Farrow's definitely lively down that back, down the forward line there for him.
Ball up. Oh, Dennis just muscled out of it. Now it'll come to Murphy. In fact, it's Shannon again. He gets it inside that centre corridor. Snapped on goal there from Mitch Bidmaid, and that is a ripper goal.
I mean, they're certainly on target, the Districts boys, aren't they? What another... Two really big snaps, really good snaps on goal. Just gives them that break in a little bit of a breathing space with about a 2-goal lead there, or just under.
Yeah, 9 points the margin, double their score, but Tiwi probably opened pretty quickly with Southern Districts, and then they've dominated the last 2 minutes, but the middle sort of 7 or 8 minutes, you'd say Tiwi's kind of been in control, had a lot more of the play.
Just been a little bit untidy with the footy, so if they can get that cleaned up a bit, just get their possessions right, just lower the eyes a bit when they're going forward instead of panicking, and then just slow it down a little bit. I know Tiwi play that running game, but sometimes you just got to take a couple of steps back and just slow it up and have a look what's going forward. Staying with the same ruckman again.
Big White Ryan again. He taps it down to Schwartz. Absolutely dominating those centre clearances tonight. Oh, Farah nearly pushed out of it. Won't bother him. He'll check side towards goal. Looks like it's curling back in, but it'll be marked on that last line there by Stapleton. He goes a short one across goal.
We've just got to learn to get a bit of body on body in the midfield. They're just doing it too easy out of that ruck. You're not going to beat the ruckman, but you've got to try and shark it a bit or try and put some pressure on him in the middle.
Dunn finds Hooker in the back pocket. They've crossed goal 2 or 3 times now. I think they'd probably try and keep it out that side. No, comes back to Hooker.
This is dangerous when the ball's bouncing around like it is at the moment.
And they can't keep it off the ground, so he was under a bit of pressure, had to kick it long. Before Jamie was held, so he'll get a free kick, bit of relief. Umpire calls advantage. Now inside that centre square, Cantilla could have gone left or right. Instead he went right to Michael Thompson running through. He gets a handball over the top now to Bedford. Bedford outside 50, off the side of his boot. Oh, gee, good effort there by the forward to get involved, but the ball hits the deck. Now they're fighting for it. Getting through, there's Kim Cantilla. Kicks towards goal and just try. And it was Michael Thompson, sorry.
It looked like a set play, that one, where they just looked forward, knew where the forward's going to run to. So that's a great attacking move from Tiwi in that particular position.
Districts working it forward slowly and unsurely as it goes over the boundary line.
Pretty good crowd in tonight, Will, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, it's the first game here for the season, so they'd be happy to see a pretty good crowd here. Now working it through there. Oh, gee, the umpire will call that one high. He does. Yeah. So to go the way of Schwartz, vice-captain of the Districts, he goes into the middle of the ground looking for some run. Didn't need it. Got a very clean mark from Geordie Johnson.
Fabulous mark from Johnson, yeah.
It's pretty dynamic play. Can move up forward. I imagine he'll do so and threaten the goals tonight. Wasn't a great kick inside 50, though. Now here comes Kurt Dunn. Slows down, gets over to Bedford on that outside. He's pushed and pressured to the boundary line. Now gets it there to Orpatini on that far side. Made to work for it, and Districts win the ball back. I think there now is Clark, and works over the boundary line. So, no, it's a free kick going Bedford's way. Stripped his opponent of the ball. Yes. Handball's over the top now. I think that's Darley. He works it inside 50 now, but the Tiwi forward out of position. We might have a downfield free kick here. I think Bedford was hit late after he kicked it. No, Schwartz marks in the middle, so back to the play at hand. He comes out this near grandstand side.
Yeah, they're away here, Will. They're away here.
He goes to Shannon.
Oh, that's definitely a free kick down the field, surely.
Big Shepherd off the ball from Geordie Johnson. Gives away a free kick, which...
Why would he play it down the field? I never understood that.
Really didn't need to do that at all. And I think it'll be Brendan Cantilla with the free Gee, that was not a great looking hit at all. Goes a short one over the top here, and he finds Broadbent, one of the big fellas who will be competing tonight. He now goes inside the forward pocket. Again, just probably didn't kick it to the advantage of his teammate, which you mentioned, Dodge. They haven't been clean. They need to pick that up.
No, they definitely haven't. And, a couple of times they've looked good off the back line and through the midfield, but they just haven't been too clean on that forward line, and they've just turned it over. And it's easy pickings if you're a big backman and they kick the ball like that.
Here goes Ryan out that far side now, but it's turned over, and we'll have a ball up inside the forward 50 for Tiwi. Again, threatening the goals, or in a threatening position. They trail by 8 points. Crowd really getting involved in this one. Oh, gee, there's a bit of a scuffle at half forward. Dennis is getting into someone at the top of the 50. I think his goggles might have been broken. Looks like they've come off, so not sure if he'll have to come off the ground or if he's just being taken back to the goal square. He's on Jordan Briston.
You wouldn't like to say it, but that's the first thing you'd sort of have a look at if you were a defender.
How can I get under the skin of my opponent? Absolutely dodgy.
Pull his goggles off and see what he does. He's played 100 games of NTFL football, plus God knows how many elsewhere, so I think he's going to be used to it. But, it does get under his skin, obviously.
He's probably seen every trick in the book.
Yeah, once or twice.
Now, forward of the wing for Southern Districts. Gee, there's a bit of fire in this one in the early stages, isn't there?
Yeah, there's plenty of bodies being thrown around, and it's all fair so far. I mean, there's been a couple off the ball incidents, but it's been a good game to watch so far.
Thompson gets it out wide to Daly, get a handball away. Smoother than it looked. Holding. There'll be advantage paid. No, it'll be brought back. So Daly just held after he got rid of it. He's been very lively tonight.
And if they want to get advantage, they've got to take off and run when they get the ball up forward. So they've got to move around. They can't just stand there and wait for the advantage call. You've got to run and force the umpire into it almost.
Comes in now to Jacob Brown. Gets through one tackler. Now goes inside 50 to a one-on-one. Again, just not to advantage of his teammate. District's defenders having a pretty good day so far, and it's all off the foot of their opponents.
Yes, it is, and they just got to slow it down a little bit too, lower the eyes and have a look for a target and try and put to the advantage of their smaller forwards.
So it looks like a 50-metre penalty has been paid. Might have been encroaching over the mark.
That's costly when it's a game like this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tiwi were, whenever it's in their forward line, they're dangerous really, but they didn't have possession then, but could have made something out of it. Works at forward to half forward. Absolute grubber of a kick. Now comes to Brown, out to the run there. I think it's of Daly again.
Oh, great play. Good play.
Takes one bounce, now goes inside 50.
That's a better kick.
Oh, great kick there. Finds his teammate beautifully.
Gee, they're exciting when they go forward like that, Will, aren't they? Yeah, you can see why they've won the games they've won, and they're an exciting player to watch, aren't they? Well, they're starting side to watch when they get going like this.
Cooper Daly on a tight angle.
It'll test him, but I don't know. I haven't seen him kick much this year, so could be anything, really. Left-hand goalpost, I reckon you've got to go for him.
Never know at Gardens. It's usually straight down the ground, so yeah, I'd say left-hand. Wonder if that gets him through the line, dodgy. Or just hits the post.
He went to the right hand. They looked really good then too. They went forward, they used the ball well, and they put the advantage to their forward. Once again, a booming kick out of the back line.
Joe Farah picks it up, gets a handball to the runner. Oh, run down, beautiful tackle. Tiwi dangerous again. McLean sort of not caught ball watching, but just lost the ball, and now his opposition picks it up. They're working it at half-back, Southern Districts, but another free kick paid. Umpires are pretty quick on the blower tonight.
And it's because Tiwi are getting in front of the ball. So if you get in front of the ball, you've got every chance of actually drawing a free kick your way. So you can't, that's a good play from their part.
With the ball now, Anthony Munkara nearly kicks an absolute ripper from the forward pocket before.
He's right in front now. He should be able to handle the distance here, just the accuracy.
From about 55. It's well wide and bounces off the chest of Ryan over the boundary line. And as we hit the 19.5-minute mark here, we'll just go through those umpires tonight. John Bayment, number 16, and Callum Loney, number 21. The two field umpires.
John Bayman, a very experienced umpire, and of course a teacher locally here.
And supporting them, Kyle O'Donoghue, Ellis, Craig Laird, Jasper Hutt and Alistair Laird. And the goal umpires, Keith Pratt and Dean O'Donoghue. Back to the action at hand. Oh, jumped a bit too early there. I think it was Cantilla. Now here comes Thompson. Anderson, he gets a handball through. And again, Anderson's just giving him a little jumper punch, copped one back to the play, and Murphy's had his head taken off. Anderson now runs through, picks up the loose ball, kicks to Dennis at centre half forward. He can't take the mark, but it's picked up by Joe Farah, runs through, snaps on goal, and just to the wrong side through for a behind.
Yeah, Anderson looked brilliant there at his brilliant best. He just doesn't give up the footy, and he just knows where to run and where to kick the ball. So obviously a man of his experience, but it's great to watch guys like playing in the NTFL. We're very lucky that they can come play up here.
Just looking at that scoreline as well, Dodgy. 1 goal, 5. That sort of crept up on them. I wouldn't have expected Tiwi to have had that many scoring shots already, but they're peppering. They probably could be a bit more accurate if they were more efficient going inside 50.
Yeah, look, they've got a chance to regroup at quarter time and just sort of say, listen, guys, you're dominating around that forward line. Just lower your eyes a bit, take it a bit slower. There's no need to rush it every time.
Darley's kick on half-back, not a good one.
No, and what's going on here?
Another whistle blown.
It's downfield.
Free kick to Tiwi. Going to Braden McLean.
As you said before, Will, there's a bit of feeling out there, and it's interesting, isn't it, this end of the season?
I think these teams have had a little bit of history in the past. I think there was a famous game out on the Tiwi Islands which was stopped early due to an injury, courtesy of a hit from Sam Darley, so they're probably not the biggest fan of him. But he's having a pretty good game so far tonight. Now here, marking the ball is, in fact, I think this might be Cooper Daly. Team sheets might be playing tricks on me, or I might have copied them down wrong. Not a mark taken there by Farah. Murphy runs through, takes it as he goes through, but doesn't really attempt to get rid of it, and the umpire's going to ping him for holding the ball.
Yeah, surely.
Again, just getting into it, G. There's a little bit going on. Jalen Clark there and Jordan Briston.
Just a bit of jumping punching.
And a little bit more. Jalen Clark again getting into someone else this time. A few players coming in to offer support. Back on the play at hand. Ball bounces in the goal square for Tiwi. Munkara picks it up, runs around, and there's been a free kick paid. Just trying to work out exactly what's going on here.
I thought it was through the goals, but obviously not.
Ball goes down, out that far side of the field. Joe Farah, gee, he's been electric tonight.
Yeah,
he's got his running boots on, that's for sure.
I reckon he's had 10 possessions. I haven't kept a stat on him, but I reckon he'd be close to that.
Free kick going the way of Tiwi.
They're getting the run of the umpires, and once again, I think it's because they're playing in front of that ball each time.
Stapleton comes inside and finds Darley. And Darley comes out this near side, wasn't taken cleanly, but a good shepherd there from the Tiwi play. Followed up by a late hit, and the kick was smothered. Now taken by Geordie Johnson. He'll paddle it forward through now to Jalen Clark. He paddles it forward again to Will Farah, but he can't get the distance, and Thompson will kick it forward inside 50. Again, without looking, and it goes to Brodie Lake, and that's the first quarter, so a lot of feeling in this one, but Southern Districts will go up with the 7-point advantage. Dodgy 3-1-19 to Tiwi 1-6-12.
Yeah, and you'd say the Districts dominated most of that, but there were passages of play there where Tiwi sort of got on top, I guess, and they did some great things off this half back line, courtesy of a couple of free kicks. But once again, if you're playing in front of the ball, and I think they frustrated Districts a little bit with the way they ran off the players. And that tends to get players a bit rolled up when it's nice and warm like it is and the game's on. But I think Districts certainly had a good quarter. The great thing about the way Districts play is they don't muck around. It's a direct type of footy. It's down through the corridor. It's out of that back line. There was a 65-metre kick out of the back line at one stage there, and that's what they do. They just didn't go straight down.
Yeah, absolutely. Those goal kickers from the first quarter, Will Farah, Mitch Bidmaid and Matt Shannon. And for Tiwi, Carlson Cantilla. We'll be back after this quarter-time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval. Friday night lights here, and it's Southern Districts versus the Tiwi Bombers. Southern Districts with the early lead, 3-1-19, a 7-point lead over Tiwi, 1-6-12. I'm Will Zwar, with me is Mark Dodge. Dodgy, what did you notice at the quarter-time huddles there?
It was pretty interesting. Paddy Bowden held them right to the last minute to get out on the ground. The line coach is working very hard with each of the forward lines and back lines, and I think it's a learning curve with these guys. They've been developing this side over a couple of years now, and it is a learning curve, and it's an educational process. They love that. The Tiwi style of footy is to chip and run, and you can do that, but you can't always do that against big players. And small grounds like this one, it tends to catch you out a bit. So they've just got to learn to lower those eyes and put the ball out in front. And when they did that, they had some success. They had six scoring shots versus 4, so they certainly had plenty, 7 actually. So they had plenty of ball going forward. So just turn it around a little bit, they're a chance. But District's just got to keep doing what they're doing. They're dominating this ruck.
Who did you see as the best players for Southern Districts?
Oh, I think Ryan obviously in the middle's doing very well, and Farah up forward I thought was pretty strong.
And speaking of Ryan, I think he got hands to it first there, but didn't really have an impact on the contest. Comes back to McLean. He'll come out wide now looking for Bedford. Mark Pade. Unsure if it might have hit the deck as he caught it, but he kept it cleanly. Now to Cantilla. Oh, gee, marks it just inside the field of play. Worked very well for that one.
He's something special, Cantilla. He just brilliant, just reading the footy.
Kicks it, gee, you could hear the leather there from up here. Oh, nearly a good fly out the back. Not taken by Lake. And just grub it out of there. Running around, though, as Kim Cantilla gets a handball through, and umpire pays a free kick going the way of Southern Districts. So it'll be Keenan Lake. Goes back to his fullback there in Stevie Motlop.
Just looking to work a different way forward onto the fat side of the ground.
Oh, gee, bullet-like pass came off Johnson's chest. Got a kick away as he was under pressure. Well kept there by the District's midfielder.
Yeah, and you can see what the plan is. It's obviously to get it out wide then into the corridor. It's a basic game plan that works very well here at Gardens, particularly when you've got big players.
They do seem to be looking for those one-on-one Southern Districts. I think they back themselves in those one-on-one and as a team over Tiwi. Tiwi a bit more going for the cluster and I guess looking for the runners.
They've probably got 5 centimetres on most of their players. That's what they're doing it.
Now working it forward. Oh, gee, got a handball out just in the nick of time, Southern Districts. Picked up by Schwartz. Now handballed over the top there to Grace. Grace inside 50.
Great kick.
Turns it over. So must be something in the wind down there because all of the kicks inside 50 haven't hit their target, have they?
And you've played on this ground, does it swirl around there a little bit down the pocket?
It's usually sort of heading, from memory, it goes sort of from the city down towards in the wing corridor towards Garden, so it should be pretty much a right to left wind. I think sometimes that's almost what we've seen. The ball's just carried a little bit too far and sat right in the defender's lap. So you need to be pretty direct with your passes.
Yeah.
Having said that, you say I play a bit of footy here, Dodge. It's probably about 12 games, so not too many under my belt.
Coached a bit there.
Ball comes in just forward of the wing for Southern Districts. Ryan again, first hands to it, but just kicked off the ground there by Cantilla. Handballed from Stanley. He works it backwards from Shannon to Motlop and now out wide.
It looks like Cantilla's going to rove off of Ryan, which is a smart move. Really.
Dennis crashing the pack there. No rovers though. And I think it might have been Hooker who got the kick away.
Cantilla, yeah.
Must have been with a long, accurate kick like that. He works it forward now. Thaddeus Porgini. Oh, another hit late.
Very late. Don't think the umpire saw it.
Kicked now to Joe Farah, centre half back. He's got a runner out wide and he'll go to him. In fact, he's found Will Farah. Missed the runner in Cody Chapman. Darley tried to get a hand in there, but it didn't work. Johnson to Anderson. In fact, it was to Grace. And then the runner, Bidmade, he's got one goal. Finds Dennis at the top of the square, and he takes a pretty easy mark there. Just got enough distance on his opponent, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And look, I think you can sort of give that goal assist to Jed Anderson again. He was just brilliant around that pack and just knew how to control what was going on in a tough situation.
Former Hawk during their glory days and also played with North Melbourne and the Suns. He's got a lot of experience with him.
Shows up, doesn't it? This will be interesting for Dennis. He's there to kick goals tonight.
Dennis comes through and misses it.
Unfortunate, offline a bit.
100th game tonight. Started the game with his goggles.
He's given up the goggles. I think he's going with that. The what do they call them? The blinders on the side of a horse. Yeah.
We'll see how much it affects his game. Again, we're not really sure if they're a medical thing or a preference thing or what the go is, but they were ripped off by, I think it was by Jordan Briston that first quarter, trying to get under his skin. Stevie Motlop now with the ball, works it forward. Again, I think that's Anderson he's looking for. Oh, big bump there on Stapleton.
It's a bit of footy royalty when you got Motlop kicking the ball to Anderson, and really it's a star-studded side, isn't it?
Absolutely. So Darley made to work a little bit. Had to go a short one over the top. Not a good kick. Straight into the hands of Farah. Umpire called play on though. Anderson tried to pick it up. Worked around. Farah now gets a handball out wide. A high one into the pocket.
It's that pocket again, Will.
And McLean flown under the radar a little bit tonight, Dodgy.
Yeah, he has. He's had plenty of the footy down that back line.
Spills over the back now. Running through there is, I think it might have been Scotty Bedford. Now it's handballed over the top by Grace to Anderson, top of the 50, short, sharp one, direct. That's what we would like to see. Finds Jono Ross.
And that's the way to play this ground, as we know, just watching many games. I haven't played many. Watching many games here over the years, that's the way to play this ground, particularly when it's tight as it is at the moment. Tiwi's just got to sort of learn to get a bit of body on body. They're running pretty wide at the moment.
Jono Ross, a regular in this Southern District's forward line.
Once again off target.
Again to that near side, so they're probably not quite used to, and Southern Districts wouldn't play many games here, maybe only once every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
They're probably not used to the wind challenges here, but in saying that, they're 3-3. Their opponents, Tiwi, 1-6.
And Fred's Pass, where their home ground is not much different really in size and dimension. I suppose it's different playing on different grounds, but there's a lot made about grounds, but I think coaches are pretty good at, getting players into the right positions. And the smart players like Anderson just know where to go. Stevie Motlop, Cantilla, they're the guys that are sort of dominating around the ground, I think.
He's coming out from fullback. It'll be Jordan Brown. Plays on. He'll come down this grandstand side. Good fist over the back there from Michael Bowden. Hasn't been as lively tonight, Bowden.
No, I don't know if he's just struggling to find his range here, but he's not been on top. But what a great player he has been and is over the years, Michael Bowden. Son of the royalty and grandson of many royal players over across.
Ryan again gets the fist down, but Tiwi, there we go. They're roving it off their opposition ruckman, which is what they need to start doing a bit more of tonight. No one can take the footy. Running through there is Brody Grace. Umpire's whistle is blown, holding the man, so it'll be free kick going the way of Adam, tipping Woody. He gets it off to Cantilla. One of the better players over the comp to start this season. That kick just a Hail Mary and marked by the Southern District's defender.
Yeah.
Now goes out wide, finds Clark.
It's disappointing. If they just held up for a couple of minutes, they would have got a forward free. They just didn't give them time to do that.
Plays on again down this near side. Here comes Dennis running from afar. Won't quite make it. Schwartz tried to take the mark. Kept alive now by Tipping Woody. Throws on the boot. Semi-barrel didn't quite come off. Oh, gee. District's defenders couldn't mark it. Shot on goal is wide. Wouldn't that have been something special from Kim Cantilla?
Oh, would have brought this very vocal crowd down onto their feet.
Absolutely.
You'd say it was a more vocal Tiwi crowd than a Districts crowd currently.
It's a long trip in from Fred's Pass, Dodgy. Here comes Murphy onto the wing.
I'm not sure if they've got those ferries going yet, have they?
Unsure, don't believe so. Not judging by the sound in the crowd tonight. Ryan now inside 50. Gee, another good pass to Jonathan Ross. Didn't take the mark though, and stolen from him like a thief in the night by McLean. His kick not good though. Now to Johnston. Long way from home, inside 50 in the centre corridor. Beautiful pass to Johnson. Couldn't mark it though. And Tiwi could be away here. Kicks it down the wing. Long looking for Brendan Cantilla. He'll pick it up on the fly. Gets it back to Darley now. Short one, missed the target. Made his teammates work, and picking it up was Anderson. Wrapped up in a tackle instantaneously. Umpire will call for my ball.
And Brendan Cantilla is just everywhere at the moment. He's the one that's sort of setting up the plays all around the ground, and a very, very skillful player, obviously, and knows where to go for the footy.
Tap down now. Kicked inside 50 again. Oh, just down that end. They're just really kicking it, hoping for the best. Snappy on goal. There's Shannon. Too much on it. Across the face and through for behind.
And over the years, watching the games here, this city end seems to be the end where goals are kicked. I'm not too sure why that is, but the casino end's always a struggle.
Here comes McLean now. Hooker with it in the D50.
Now, this is the kick here, Will. They've just got to think about this as they go forward.
Cooper Daly
And the
finds
next one.
Braden Rioli.
That's better.
Brother's just been traded to the Suns. His first touch tonight, Braden. He's had a pretty quiet start to it. Inboard they go now. I think that might be Tommy Stapleton. Not a good kick, though. Right idea going to Bedford, but just didn't execute it, and it's bounced over the boundary line.
But you don't mind that they're doing that because they're trying to think of a different way through rather than just kick and run, which is tends to be what Tiwi's been doing up to now. They haven't kicked a goal this quarter and they haven't troubled the score, so they've just got to get themselves forward a bit, get some possession.
Carlson Cantilla lost it. Now Dennis gets it out. Anderson throws on the boot forward. Here comes Ryan.
Great mark.
Takes a mark. 45 out, looking for a quick pass.
That's what happens when you get a big ruckman on a mid-sized backman.
Looking for runners as well. Doesn't get any of you like, so
This will test.
he might be going for it.
I think he is.
It's a big kick. It'll fall short.
I think he
Could
probably
be taken by Johnson and tapped through.
we could probably be friendly and say he passed that, shall we?
Yeah. Looking for the hot spot.
He was looking for the hot spot. Put it up in the podium.
McLean.
Yeah, McLean's looking for some movement. They haven't got much moving around here. And there's a short pass on, but
It's very stagnant out there. A lot of tickets would have been spent so far tonight. You'd say dodgy. It's quite humid.
yeah, and the Tiwi style of game where they run, it does catch you out, halfway through the quarters. They tend to be looking for that drink in the bench.
Gets out to Braden Rioli now. He just throws on the boot. Stanley Tipalura, another inclusion tonight who'll be handy for them. Tried to pick it up on his way through, but just overran it. Now handball back inside, but picked up there by Kim Cantilla. Can't get it cleanly. Braden Rioli dives on it. Now Shannon picked up by Brandon Cantilla. Handballed as he was tackled, almost pushed in the back. Ping for holding the ball, though, will go the way of Anderson.
The umpire was quick there, but that's the new rule this year, the new interpretation, so that's the way we play it, and that's the way we've always played up here. It's gone down right down through the AFL and VFL rings as well, and AFLW.
Goes a short one, Anderson. Finds Murphy, last week's rising star. Oh, gee, Anderson.
Yeah, it's got to be 50.
And a 50-metre penalty there. Brendan Cantilla just giving him a few little stomach jabs.
Yeah, it's undisciplined and not really necessary. It's never necessary, I suppose, but it's just one of those things that players tend to sort of lose the plot a little bit sometimes.
So the youngster, Daniel Murphy.
He's had a good season so far, hasn't he, Murphy? It should be a fairly easy shot on goal.
Comes in, 25 out. He likes that one. Oh, and he does a little back flick to celebrate as well. Good on the youngster.
I thought I might have put the commentator's zips on him, but I didn't. He was good and took the cask, and he took his time. He didn't he was flustered, and the 50-metre penalty obviously helped him a lot. But if you look out across here from the stand, you've got the beautiful moon rising in over there. It's actually a gorgeous place to watch a game of football from, and you get a bit of a breeze up here too. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm not sure if we'll get a camera shot of the moon, but it's looking absolutely beautiful tonight.
I don't think the camera boys are listening. Don't do that first game. They'll dump me.
But yes, the first goal of the quarter there to Murphy on screen now. So it looks like he'll resume at centre-half forward.
And it's getting to a point now where, too, we need to have a bit of a look at what's going on, because I'm not sure what's going on here. A bit of a warning, is it?
Yeah, just letting... We've noted that there's a bit of tension in this one, a few tempers flaring. I think the umpire's just trying to calm it down.
Yeah.
We've noted they've been pretty hot on the whistle as well, just to ensure things don't bubble over. A little bit of recent history between these two sides as well.
Dennis's first hit out in the ruck did pretty well there.
Oh, gee, big tap there from the forward, from the defender in Brody Lake. Almost could have been paid a throw. Umpire let it go, though. It'll be a free kick going the way of Tiwi in the end. Darley, high half forward. Kicks it into the pocket. Here comes Munkara from the back.
Great mark.
In fact, it's Stanley Tipalura. So I think his first game of the season.
He looks a likely sort of footballer, doesn't he? Well built, well proportioned on both sides of his body, and strong in the air. There, he wasn't in the best position, but just made the football his own, and the ball hasn't come down well to the forward line, so he's decided to, well, let's get on our bikes and gets a good strong mark there.
Pretty tight angle. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight. But yeah, as you said, Dodgy, very talented footballer when he gets onto it. This isn't beyond him. He kicks it across the face, though, or in fact, it's missed everything. Hit the out-of-bounds post.
And here's where Tiwi's got to start getting some bodies on each other, because they're just going to be caught out here if they're not careful. Have a look at how many Districts players are running free without anybody near them.
Hot lop. He's done a few of those this year. The old check side from the back pocket. Risky, but it's come off. Here comes Dennis. Had to get through a few. There he is. Nimble as a rover, but as tall as a ruck. Now kick forward from hooker inside 50. Good mark there.
That's got to be the classic comment. Nimble's a rover, tall as a ruck. I love it.
There's Michael Dunn. Probably from the paint, if he goes through it.
It's going to test him a little bit here. He needs a short or someone to sort of give him a bit of a lead. There's not much movement down there.
Tipalura gave a half-hearted effort. Oh, that's a good kick from Dunn, though. Will it make the distance? It does, and what a goal.
And I haven't seen a lot of him this year. Has he been known for those kicks? He's certainly, he's kicked that from 55.
Yeah, well, like a lot of the Tiwi boys, I think over the last few years, he's played a little bit of everywhere. I think when I first came up here and put on the microphone and the headset, he was running off half-back and more of those penetrating kicks inside 50 rather than shots on goal. But, yeah, I think he is a pretty long kick, but just sort of looked like he was looking to pass it off there, which is... I think, Paddy Bowden would be pretty happy to see that. But, if you can kick them as well, that's even better.
Yeah, I imagine that Paddy's told him to look for a short option, but there wasn't one. And if someone's not going to lead, you might as well have a ping yourself. And he obviously had it in him to get the distance and the accuracy.
Yeah, we mentioned that the Tiwi game style, they do spend a lot of tickets early, and it just looked like it was stagnating a little bit there. We're obviously 16 minutes into this second quarter here.
Yeah, quite a few players with their hands on their knees, particularly for Tiwi. So it is having an effect.
There goes Johnson. Out wide, though. Turned over to Tiwi.
It's a great kick.
Beautiful kick to Munkara. He marks it under that forward pocket light post.
And once again, there's got to be an option in here, somewhere in that sort of podium area or in the mid corridor. It'll test him, this one. He looks like he's going to have a shot, but there's not much movement again. So, there's a movement here. There's a lead here.
A few spectators on the other side of the fence. Probably in the perfect angle to see how this goes. Munkara's shot on goal. Through for a behind.
And you're entitled to have a shot when you've got that sort of footy heritage, but it's not the best play. But then there wasn't an option. He only had a half-hearted lead from the full forward. So what else do you do once again?
I think by the time he'd sort of gotten prepared for it, a few blokes had moved back and didn't really have a lot of options to go to.
No.
Just saw Ashton Hams on the bench there giving instruction too. So potentially just rested tonight.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about injuries, so I think maybe just being managed, and that's what you got to do with some of those players that are sort of not 22 anymore.
Oh, gee, Dennis's kick nearly intercepted, hit his opposition in the head there. Punch there by McLean. Now comes to Johnston. He kicks inside 50. Just spilled through the hands there of Farah. Tried to get boot to ball, but didn't work, and now Tiwi. Well, there's numbers in the Bombers camp. And
they're running in packs there on the back line too, which is great to see.
Oh, not a great kick though. I think he tried to do a Stevie special and a check side in the back line, but it hasn't worked out, and it's landed in the lap of Geordie Johnson, who we know he's pretty explosive and dynamic player. Sort of that Petrarca to Goey, Dusty Martin type, but
that's when your coaches start to pull their hair out, when players try and do things like that, check side kicks out of the back line when you're not Stevie Motlop. It's difficult to do.
So Geordie Johnson, great addition to the side.
Kicking for about 45, I reckon. Well, he's probably a good chance here.
Wheeling it back. And he likes that one, doesn't he? So he kicks through their second goal of the quarter, extend their lead out to 15 points, 5-5-35. Tiwi Bombers trailing 2-8-20.
Just the difference is the ability to hit up a player on the forward line. That's where Districts are sort of getting all over them at the moment. And one of the other things that happens is when you're getting such good feed out of your midfield, it makes it difficult for defenders to get their hand on body and to put an arm across it. It's almost too quick. And that's, some pretty special players down there. But it was a mistake coming out of the back line once again from Tiwi that sort of cost them that turnover. They've just got to sort of cut those things out, and they'll go okay. They're sort of just they're around the edges of being a really, really good side tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you look at that scoreline as well. It's 2-8-20 to 5-5. So they've had the same amount of scoring shots, and obviously Tiwi's been inaccurate there, but you wouldn't put that down to inaccurate kicking per se. More, I guess, just a lot of pressure coming from the defenders, and they haven't really had a lot of clean shots. A lot have been pressed right up hard against the boundary line. Yeah,
look, we're probably underestimating the district's back line. Their back six is strong, very strong. Led as you say by the Magic Steve Motlop. So
Crocs work it forward now, just on that far side. And rolls over the boundary line.
And that's a side of the ground where the ball must roll. It must be on an angle as it rolls into that corner fairly quickly for both sides.
Yeah, definitely been one of the hot spots tonight, just forward and under that famous old scoreboard.
The light tower number 2, I think they call it down there.
Advantage, play on. No, it'll be brought back.
And we know that AFLNT are looking to upgrade a few of the grounds around here, but this is a great ground. It just needs a few things, like it probably needs a new scoreboard. I mean, that's a great piece of history, but it's not really easy to see as a spectator at a night-time game. And no replays.
Yeah, we can see it on the screen now, but otherwise it is a bit tough. But luckily, thanks to the guys at Kick, we've got the digital scoreboard in front of us, and we'll be keeping you updated with that all night. Ball now inside 50.
Shout out to these guys at Kick. They do a great setup around the place, and they've got the cameras in the perfect position, so it makes it a lot easier for us commentators to see what's going on.
Just trying to work out what's happened there. I think there's been a shot on goal. It's a free kick going Tiwi, so it won't stand, but looked like it went through. Pretty incredible effort.
I think it was an impingement off the ball.
It'll be Brendan Cantilla at half-back taking it. He's been everywhere, hasn't he?
He's best on ground for mine. He's just in everything, and there was a bit of skill there when he played that back and wants to get out on the fat side here. So just his next kick is where they've got to have a look. Why not play that there? I mean, if you're going to play on. Don't do a half play on.
Jacob Brown assessing his options. Just has to go long in the end.
Kick to a contest of 4-on-4, which is not great when you're going forward.
Now getting to it is Cody Chapman. Inside the corridor.
Great kick from Chapman. Unfortunately, he wasn't taken, but gee, it was a good effort.
Oh, Schwartz picks it in mid-air, and it was absolutely thrown to the ground.
Have they played a sling tackle, or just going to play a ball up?
Geordie Johnson just pushed. I think Brendan Cantilla was the player who came in and tackled him. Just gave him a little head rub. You're all right, mate. And Geordie Johnson's almost demonstrated a bit too much. We'll have a ball up inside 50 now.
Ryan headache.
Taps it down, kicks it to the top of the square, and just sitting in the hole. Gee, good spoiler from Farah. Here comes Kurt Dunn, weaves through a couple, now goes out to the pocket. Gee, that was very well played. Unfortunately, the kick didn't hit the target. Gets a handball away. Now here comes Anderson. Handballs over the top. Farah in the pocket. He'll go inboard again. No, he won't, over the back of his head. And the siren and boundary line will beat them all in the end anyway. So it's a 15-point margin here at the main break. 2-8-20. Tiwi Bombers trailing Southern Districts 5-5-35. 15-point margin. What did you make that first half, Dodgy?
Well, you look at the scoreboard and say it's pretty close, but I think that blinds the game a little bit. I think probably Districts have been a bit better than 15 points up. Having said that, Tiwi have got some excellent players, and Brendan Cantilla, he's just everywhere. For mine, he's best on ground, and his ability to set up plays and run around. But then you've got some really big stars in Districts, and they are starting to come good. People like Anderson, Dennis, Farah. They're hard players to play on, and they're hard players to sort of match up on. And I would say that your prediction of a bigger lead than I thought might be correct, but I just think it's an entertaining game to watch with a great crowd in. They're making plenty of noise, and I see a few of the Nightcliff Tigers boys here watching the games too, so it's good to see a few of the boys showing a bit of interest in other games. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got Tiwi on the islands in a few weeks, so definitely good to get some scouting reports.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But you're right, I think it's almost one of those games where head-to-head it's Anderson and Cantilla, and you wonder if the best of those two, their team will end up winning the game. But still got plenty of footy ahead of us, Dodgy. Another half to go. 15 points this main break. We'll be back with you after half-time.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to, I was going to say TIO Stadium, Dodgy. It's not. It's the spiritual home of footy here in Darwin. It's Gardens Oval. Round 3 action Friday night. Top of the table clash. Tiwi Bombers 2-8-20 against Southern Districts 5-5-35. A 15-point lead going the way of the visitors tonight. Come all the way in from Fred's Pass, and pretty interesting game so far tonight. What are your thoughts on it, Dodgy?
Well, I think it's definitely a game to be enjoying and watching. It's not getting any cooler down there. There's a bit more humidity in the air, so it's not going to get any easier to handle that footy. And I think the difference between the two sides has just been the way that districts have been clean with the footy. Anderson, Farah, McLean have been playing very good footy down there, and I think that's the midfield particularly has been where they've won it out of the rucks and the contests. And when the ball's coming down that quickly, it's pretty easy to get out in front of your man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you called it just before half-time as well. The back six of Southern Districts has been phenomenal. That 2-8 accuracy or scoring board, I should say, for Tiwi Bombers is probably more a reflection on the Southern Districts' defence and just how much pressure they're applying rather than inaccurate kicking from Tiwi. They've been phenomenal down there.
Yeah, I mean, they've gone forward 10 times with a score and they've only got 2 goals on the board. So that would say something about the way the defenders are keeping the pressure on and pushing them out to make sure that they've got those kicks that are coming from too far out. I was probably a bit critical of some of the not leads coming forward, but I don't know whether they were being allowed to do it. I mean, there's plenty of bodies on bodies down there. A couple of times they did try and lead, they were sort of stumbling leads. So it's been a great effort from back six of districts, and I think that's where they're going to win it, through the back six and definitely out of this centre bounce once again. Ryan back in the middle.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal tonight. I think he and Matt Dennis will make a formidable ruck duo throughout this season. Probably the 2 biggest blokes by a long way. Let's see how they go in this second half as Ryan goes up. Gets the hit out, as you probably expect. Now from Johnson, I think, to Johnson. The 2 of them combining. The ball hits the deck. Now coming through, Brodie Grace. He gets it out. Geordie Johnson, a short one to Jed Anderson.
Pin part accuracy, so wasn't it just right on the chest, right in front of him? That's the sort of kick you love coming forward when you're forward, isn't it? Right in front of you, so you can just run to him.
For me, best on ground tonight so far, Jed Anderson. Yet to kick a goal.
Yep, agree with you. Up there with Kentilla, the 2 on both sides, yeah.
And he comes just inside the paint. It's a good-looking kick. It's working back, and it's gone through. So first goal for the second half inside a minute goes to Jed Anderson, extends the lead out to 21 points.
Straight over the umpire's cap, and that's how you want your forwards to be kicking goals, and there's just no mucking around, straight down the middle. No side kicks, no bananas, straight down the middle with a big drop punt. And I think once again, districts are showing their class with the way they're winning the footy around the ground. And it's like Ryan's run all night, but he hasn't had to run that hard because he basically just hangs around that forward and then each of the edges of the square to sort of repel. So they've got to, I guess, have got to try and put someone on him. I'm not sure who they're going to put on him, but maybe someone who can run off him just to try and give him some bite around the ground. He's going to win the ruck. Though he's got a pretty big opponent there. So there's a chance that, he's just got to learn to run into him a bit.
Ball goes up.
And he did that.
Tapped down by Ryan, and again, Southern Districts just read it best off the ruck when they know. Inside 50 now. Hooker got a fist to it. Almost just handed it to his teammate, wrapped up in a tackle from Farah.
And the physicality in the first half has continued in the second half. Well, it's a very physical game. For the most part, fair, but it's a physical game. They'll know they played a game of footy when they get off the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Cantilla, he kicks it out now. Ball hits the deck. Tiwi could be on here if they get it over the back. They do. Oh, Stanley Tipalura. He needed to make contact with that ball there, and he didn't. Carlson Cantilla picks it up. Intercepted by the run of the Southern Districts midfielder running back. Now Shannon, he gets it off Stevie Motlop, running through, breaking the lines, goes to centre half forward. Beautiful kick to John O'Ross. He rolls round onto his right, inside 50. Doesn't spot up a teammate, just hits it to space.
There were 3 players in space and missed all of them.
Jacob Brown, he goes out into that back pocket now, looking for Sam Darley. Getting to it is, I think it's Big Jackson Broadbent. Been competing in the ruck a little bit tonight. Now to Bedford. Bedford rolls onto his right in the forward pocket. Beautiful kick, but a great hand up there again from a stoic Southern Districts defence. And it'll be a free kick by the looks of it, going the way of Tiwi to Carlson Cantilla.
Yeah, I didn't really see that, Will. I guess they're a bit far away on that side of the ground, but I couldn't see the infringement. It doesn't matter, it's in the book anyway, so he gets a shot. He's got the shot from the right side of the ground down there, so let's see if he can once again head towards that the left-hand goal post and get the swing back a bit.
Kicked one of their 2 goals tonight. Earlier it was a tight one, ran around on his left and snapped it through almost from the goal post. That one in the same pocket, a set shot, and they get around him.
And they certainly needed that one. That goes without saying, and that just sort of steadies the ship a little bit because Districts got out of the blocks really quickly and looked like they were going to get a couple up, but were able to repel and a free kick downfield, and there they are. They're on the scoreboard with their 3rd kick, which puts them right back in this game. Well, it's not that far away. It's what is it? 14,
15 points.
15 points.
By the looks of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really close game of footy and an enjoyable game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. They needed that goal almost more for a sense of the fact that it seems closer than the 21-point margin that it was, and that can play a bit of a mind game if you do have a bit of equal share of the ball, but you just can't convert. Obviously, they'd like the next one as well, but that margin they'd want to level up their goals and behinds. That's for sure. Cantilla, he gets it out, and they could be on a bit of a run here. I think this is Bedford. Couldn't take it cleanly, but running through was done. Put some pressure on the kicker, bounced over Joe Farah, had to take it with a little hop. His kick inside goes to Cantilla.
The everywhere man.
Just told to go back on his line. They could have been on there. Kim Cantilla again took it off the half volley. Districts now have an opportunity to get their defenders back. He'll pass it off to Hooker, who is in perfect position, and we know he's a big long kick. But again, he just wasn't on his line, so he's called back. He'll cross over now. Finds McLean. No, I think he's found Jordan Briston.
Yeah, McLean. Right?
Now comes out to Tom Stapleton. Cantilla again, absolutely raking up the touches.
And this is good for them too. They've got to keep possession a bit. They can't let Districts dominate around the ground.
Hooker into that forward pocket, spots a lead. Oh, beautiful body position from Carlson Cantilla. Beat one defender, handballed it, kept it alive, now takes it inside again. Gets through a few, handballs it inboard, now taken by Kim Cantilla, wrapped up in the tackle.
And unlucky there, they were on there. There was 3 of them running towards goal, so just couldn't control the footy.
Big White Ryan on Cantilla. Big task ahead of Cantilla. Just lets it come through. And here comes Bidmade. Kicked a really good goal in that first quarter. Cleared the lines, but there's plenty of Tiwi numbers there. Now picked up by Anderson. Very clean and smooth. Got boots of ball now over the top. Trying to get his hands on it was John O'Ross. And then Stapleton, just a grubber through. Johnson gets the ball out to Anderson. Umpire pings him for holding the ball.
Just a beautiful tackle too. Took him around the middle, didn't move off the line. Beautiful.
Tiwi started his quarter with flair. They work it forward now. Cantilla in the pocket, lurking at ground level. He won't pick it up in time. Rolls over the boundary line.
And this is what they've got to do, Tiwi. They've got to get that ball, lock it in that forward line, not let it come out too quickly. It's just continually coming out. So they've got to learn to lock it in a little bit here. Get some repeat entries on goal, Will, and it makes the opposition think about it a bit.
Ball comes in, paddled down by Ryan. And Johnston of the map variety kicks it forward, only as far as Brown.
And very well set up behind the ball again, Tiwi there, repelling the attacks and just getting it right at the moment.
He's got Briston short. Instead, he'll go long to the half-forward flank. Good fist in there. Munkara couldn't take the mark, and Johnson gets to Anderson. He's got Shannon on the run. He'll go to him. Shannon will keep going. He's under pressure now, but goes inside 50, and there's a few men on. He'll go to Will Farah. Will pick it up easy as you like. Has one to beat. Gets a very clever handball over the top and running through. John O'Ross, their second of the quarter, and extends the lead back out to 21 points.
Brilliant play, but once again, Jed Anderson just setting up the play, knowing what to do, getting the ball in the right position, and just very clean with his possession. He's just a magic player to watch footy, and it's great to watch a guy like that play on a ground like this because you can see him right up close. It's fabulous.
Yeah, good work from the Southern Districts forward to just get goal side, find a little bit of space, and Farah had the composure to know he probably wasn't going to kick away cleanly, and he had a runner to go to on the side there too.
And Farah also drew the defender, which is, you know, it's a skill which is difficult to do because you think you can get hit, but he was quick enough and strong enough to make sure he didn't get hit and get the ball across.
21-point margin.
See what Jackson can do in the ruck against Ryan here.
Tiwi would be feeling a little bit, not quite robbed, but, you know, they had a lot of the ball there, a lot of opportunity, just couldn't quite convert it. Again, the defensive pressure from Southern Districts has been a highlight tonight. Now, Darley gets a handball away, only to as far as Johnson, I think it was, and now worked out. Ball just bouncing around there like a pinball machine. Picked up by Ryan, tried to get boots of ball. Again, just shinned it. He looks sore. Hurt his shoulder potentially. Looks like there'll be a free kick. And
they played a pin free, or what do you call that? A sling? Oh no, off the ball.
So this will go to Brody Grace. Kicks into the man on the mark. That won't help his cause. He will have another crack though. Snap from 50, deep into the pocket, offline. Farah flew, went beyond him and now goes over the back for a boundary throw in. Ryan, we saw him wincing a little bit on the ground there. He's up and about, sitting that sort of kick and a half behind the ball, exactly where you want him, but doesn't look like it's caused him too much damage yet.
Because of the pressure that District's putting on with these big kicks forward, the Tiwi forwards have all, the backs and forwards have all had to come into the defensive half. So even if they get ball frees out of here, it's going to be a contested ball.
Cantilla kicks it out of the danger zone only as far as Joe Farah. Now back to Motlop. Good work there from Jack Palmer. Inside 50 now. Flying at the back was Shannon. Jono Ross got a handball out. Anderson lurking. He had to put some pressure on. Didn't come cleanly. Now getting to it. I think that might be Grace again. Slipped over his own feet. Tackled near the boundary line.
I thought he had prior there, Will, but it's one of those calls. It's an instinctive part of the way the umpires play it, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially could have also gotten in the back. I think the umpire's right there to call for a ball up. Dennis in the forward line now. Taps it. Oh. Player went head into it.
There's plenty going on off the ball and on the ball.
Yeah. Absolutely. A lot of tempers here. Just checking in that he's okay.
I think the District's people watching this game on the stream will be pretty happy with where they're going and the physicality of the game. They would be pretty keen to see this continue, I imagine.
So it'll be Matt Johnston. Lining up from a tight angle. It's been a mainstay of this side for a few years now.
He just shows up every week and does his job, doesn't he, Matt? He's one of those players that you can sort of rely on to get his 1 or 2 goals for the game and get plenty of possessions.
In he comes. 45-degree angle, a little bit tighter than that, and it's not a great kick. Just to behind, much to the delight of the Tiwi fans.
There's a few sitting in front of us that thought that was pretty good.
And Johnson just comes off, so we'll keep an eye on him. It was a pretty heavy hit on his head. We're not sure if it's exactly what will happen there.
Can't see the doctor going to him, so I'm not sure it's concussion, but it may be.
Darley, he plays on. Very tight kick there to Brown. And again, not a lot. It's halfway through this third quarter. Tiwi's starting to look stagnant. Gee, he just goes a barrel, and that's not a bad effort at all.
It's a big kick.
Spills through the hands. Tiwi could be away here. Comes through to Adam Tipping-Woody. Goes on to his runner. He's got Munkara forward if he wants, but gee, it's not a good kick. Oh, probably had a bit too much juice on it, and it goes back to Michael Bowden.
Disappointing kick from Munkara there because he had a bit of time to sort of slow it up a bit and just wait for his forwards to run forward.
Bowden's kick, though, not a good one. Out of bounds on the full and goes beyond the fence. Adam Tipping-Woody it is, will have to go through and collect it himself.
Just turned the wrong way there, Bowden. I'm going to say Joel Bowden. Michael Bowden turned the wrong way, and he put himself under too much pressure.
Not a good kick inside, and here comes Daniel Murphy, rising star from last week, and kick to goal. He's been pretty impressive tonight as well, Dodgy.
He has, definitely, and he's one of the people that sort of really making a difference between the two sides. Really, 20 points or so. It's down to those guys that are just having that clean possession around the ball.
Ball comes down now. Anderson was lurking, but getting onto it was Tipping-Woody first. Braden Rioli now Big, strong tackle from the little fella.
Great tackle. That's in the Rioli blood, isn't it? They can all do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Morris Jr. down at Richmond, and Dan has got over to GWS. They're just, Gold Coast. They're great tackles at footy, and of course Cyril as well.
Saw a few photos of Cyril training with the team as well, so unsure if he'll pull on the boots this year, but it's just some more of that AFL level experience around the club that has really flourished, and you can see that it's changed their game this year for the better.
Can't hurt them, can it? Having those sort of guys around the club.
Will Farah now. He goes inboard to Joe Farah.
The Farah brothers are sort of having a go and kick the kick.
Down the line to a lead of Johnson, but there was Bedford in the hole. Daly gets a quick, cheeky handball out, and he'll get it back. 1-2 with his teammate Broadbent now down the line.
He's got nowhere to go, though. See, there's no one there. Oh, he's just been over the back. It's good.
Good work. Kim Cantilla puts on a tackle, overruns it, and a fantastic effort there. I think that was from Braden Rioli. It was. Gives away the free kick, unfortunately.
Gee, that's tough. I thought it was a great tackle.
Munkara, he kept his feet, runs around now from outside 50, has a shot on goal. Umpire's barely moving, doesn't have the distance on it. It does! What a goal. Munkara again. And what a celebration.
He's special, isn't he?
Highlight reels all over the place from Munkara.
Incredible. We'll be seeing that at the Mitchell Medal, the highlight reel, that one for sure. That's fabulous. And that's just keeping them in it, just doing those special things, some of their stars around the ground, and Cantilla and Munkara. Just doing the sort of things that are keeping them in the game. And look, the districts certainly haven't got it all their own way at this stage, so it's a very interesting game. It's very, very physical still. Lots of physicality.
Absolutely. And from the paint, what a goal that was from Munkara. Just kept his feet, turned around, and has that killer instinct about him, doesn't he?
What about that tackle from young Rioli? I mean, I know he was penalised for it, but he's just hard at the ball, and he's not. No one's going to get past him, are they?
No, he's a small fella, so you probably look at him and think I can get past him pretty easy, but no one does. And here, I think this is the first time we've seen it this season, the 6-6-6 penalty. So Ryan in the middle, again, umpire just calls him back.
You can't handball that. You've got to hit him. It's a bit of an experience, maybe.
Knowing what I know about big fella, he's best to just throw it on the boot and hope for the best.
Well, yeah. Oh, he's gone off the line again. I don't know how many times they can ward him. I don't understand that. If you ward him once and, ball up.
Yeah. Had 6 years of warnings at this stage.
Yeah. They are going to ball it up. Oh, no, he's going to give it back to him. That's confused me too.
So he'll have his third crack.
His third crack and everyone's covered. Oh. Ooh, just 15.
And then just belts it into the hot spot. Dennis lurking. Oh, coming in from the side was Farah. Now Schwartz, he rolls around, gets on his preferred side. A high one, that won't make the distance, but Shannon can run back. Paddled over the boundary line now by Jacob Brown. Good defence there.
Did pretty well there, Tiwi, because they've got some big forwards down there. Farah's given them plenty of headaches. Even when he doesn't mark it, he brings it to ground. He just makes them have a look over their shoulder a bit. So he's been the difference, I think, up forward, really, just consistently down there.
Yeah, Josiah was on fire in that first quarter. Will's probably taken a bit more time to come alive, but has been more damaging this quarter. Obviously set up that goal they kicked early on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now in the forward pocket. Tiwi get it out to a runner on that far side. Kicks it down the line. Now in the hands of a crocodile. Picked up by Ryan.
Do they have
Rioli gets a little 1-2 as well. He goes out wide and Tiwi could be on again. Here comes a foot race. Picking it up is Cantilla. Paddles it to advantage. Needs to get it forward. He's got someone lurking, but not enough support around him. Districts have done well here. Just held up the play. What's the umpire going to do? Ball it up on the top of the 50. Great work again from Southern District's defence. They had Adam Tipping-Woody out the back there, and if he got his hands on it, would have been a certain goal, you think?
Oh, definitely. And they've done really well. Well, they've got it again, though.
Rioli kicks it. Adam Tipping-Woody lurking the back. He kept his feet as well. Rolls round. Gets around one. Left foot snap over. Here come the Bombers.
What a great goal. Back-to-back goals, too. That's fabulous.
Reduce the margin to 10 points. And Adam Tipping-Woody, reward for effort. He's been electric tonight as well. Probably hasn't seen a lot of it, but been very exciting when he has gotten his hands on it. And just, you can see there, clapping his teammates. Have a look at this. Good work there from Braden Rioli. That Rioli instinct gets it to full forward. Tipping-Woody in the perfect position. And again, they've probably done it a little bit better tonight as well in these muggy conditions. Just kept their feet, the Bombers.
Yeah.
Could sense the defender, let him come to him, stepped around and goes for that goal.
fantastic. And young Rioli, once again, he's showing his presence out there and controlling the footy and just putting the physicality there. But that's just a fabulous goal. And back-to-back goals really gets them back in this match. They're also controlling the centre a little bit better now, so they're not getting killed out there.
Yeah, Broadbent probably got the hit out there, but straight in the hands of Dennis, who's got the clearance. Here comes Joe Farah now. Had a runner if he wanted. Instead, he goes into the pocket, and that's a great kick. Finds Will Farah in the forward pocket.
You reckon they might have done that a few times over the years with each other in the backyard?
Oh, in the backyard, in the street, on the training track. Yeah. Plenty of times.
Just knew where he was, didn't he? And where he's going to lead to.
Wonder if he was going to run around and open up the angle, but looks like he'll go back for a set shot here.
Districts are pretty disciplined with this. They tend to be the drop punch straight through.
And he likes that instant reply. Margin back out to 16 points.
And just controlling the footy again, but I think there's some absolutely good signs for Tiwi here. Whether they win or lose this game, they're almost there. You know, they're starting to get there. And Jackson Broadbent, he's certainly been competitive in the ruck, not letting Ryan have it all his own way. Which they may have to move Matty Ryan in there Matty Dennis in there if he continues that way, because they were dominating that ruck, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something else which is a positive sign for them, which Coach Rusker would be happy with, Coach Bowden would be happy with, is that they're not really, they're not dying out. We haven't seen that at all this year. They've been pretty dominant this year, and they're keeping it with, obviously, they're, 16 points down against Southern Districts, but too often in the years past, we've just seen them roll over for a quarter, and the other team's piled on 8 goals, and it's game over just like that.
Yeah.
You don't sense that's going to be a common feature this year for them.
100%. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Now comes out to the wing for Southern Districts. Again, into the forward line. A bit too easy there. Farah, he gets a handball inboard to Grace. Tackled on the ground. A few Bombers lurking now. Umpire will call for a ball up. Just past the 20-minute mark here of the third quarter. Just a reminder, you're watching TIO's 2024-25 Premiership season. Here come the Bombers again. This is where they've been hurting them on the rebound. Dunn didn't get a kind bounce, just overran it. But he could have another crack at it. No, Districts on the counter. Get it back to McLean, but he's keen to go. Senses that they're in red time. Goes out to this forward pocket. Tipping Woody. In fact, it's Carlson Cantilla need a lucky bounce. He got it. Stevie Motlop, though, knew exactly where he wanted to go with that. Caresses it over the boundary line. Umpire calls for a throw-in.
And that's just years and years of experience of just knowing how to do it on the back line, isn't it?
Absolutely. Can Tiwi make something of this? Ball comes down. Anderson heeled it out the back. On his far, though, is Stapleton now to Darley on his left.
There's a chance here.
Great kick. Oh, good mark there. Fantastic work from Carlson Cantilla.
Just took it beautifully, and the ball just held up for him, so it was a good kick forward under pressure. You know, he lowered his eyes, he had a look, and he's wearing a famous number there. But fabulous goal, fabulous kick, and it deserves a goal because that'll make this game really interesting going into the break.
He's kicked 2 already. 1 in the first, another one early in this third. Here comes Carlson Cantilla. Easy as you like.
He loves it off the boot. What a great kick, and that's an exciting bit of football. 2 or 3 really exciting packages of play from Tiwi there. Just make a few of the other sides that might be watching tonight will have a bit of a look over their shoulders when they're going to face up against Tiwi. And I think a lot of it's coming from the middle again. I think Jackson Broadbent and the Tiwi midfield are not just laying down and letting the ball get out so quickly. And that might be partly because of fatigue from Districts as well. But I just think they're just, it's competitive in there, which is an important part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a few of their players have sort of woken up a bit. Braden Rioli was one who was slow to start, but he's definitely come alive in this third quarter. A few strong tackles from the little fella, and he set up that previous goal as well. Bedford, you can see on screen, he's been pretty lively all game as well. Ryan, he gets a tap down. Running through there, though, Anderson gets it to Shannon. Kick out wide, very close to the boundary line. umpire will call for a free kick. McLean rolls round. Oh, Neil, couldn't quite take it. Was Bedford.
Good kick from McLean though again, doing the right thing.
And Districts outnumbered their opponents there, but just went clean with it. Goes over for a boundary throw in. Comes in. White Ryan on Broadbent, comes straight down to Shannon. They knew it was going to him. Cops a tackle early on. Cooper Daly giving it off there. Oh, perfect.
Beautiful
hit out there. Now inside 50 to the run of Dennis. Almost hands in the back. A lot of Bombers swooping on it, but none of them could get it. Instead, it's Schwartz, but he's run down. Beautiful tackle. Great work there from Braden McLean, former Wanderers captain, and he's also been the territory captain for a few years there as well in the rep games, Dodgy.
Yeah, and a fantastic player, and great to see him giving his all for the Tiwi Bombers.
Now back inboard there to Darley. Comes out this near side, getting late in this quarter.
They've just got to hang on here, the Bombers, and not let them back in, and that's a good position to be going into the break.
I think it might be Cooper Daly almost a bit too front on with his contest there. But didn't give away the free kick. Comes through, no one can take it on first go. Falls into the lap there of Johnson. In fact, it was Bowden.
Been a bit quiet Bowden tonight.
Now, Brady Grace. Jono Ross takes it out, snaps towards goal. Fading very harshly late and goes over the boundary line. You're right, Bowden has been pretty quiet tonight. He's stand-in skipper. Dean Staunton yet to take to the field this year as far as I'm aware. But, you know, they've got plenty of numbers out there, so they don't always need all their superstars firing.
No, that's it. You just win a few contests. If you're having a bad night, win a few contests, get a few handballs out. You've done your job.
Hooker gets boot to ball, rolls it out there. And here comes the run of Tiwi. Dunn gets it down. Carlson Cantilla all out the back by himself. He's got a foot race, wasn't clean with it. He'll launch from a long way out going towards goal. 60 metres, he needs a kind bounce. It gets high. Doesn't make the distance though, and here come Districts. What can they do on the rebound? Their opportunity now, not clean as well. In the hands of Lake, of the Keenan variety. Comes back to Brody Lake. He goes out wide. I think he's found Giddings there.
But if you're Districts here, you just want to hang on the ball now and get to the three-quarter time break and have a regroup here.
Here comes Motlop. Doesn't really have a lot to go to, and the Bombers are occupying the space, so they need to go wide and keep tight. There's the siren. So it's 10 points, and we have a game on our hands here, Dodgy. 6-8-44, Tiwi Bombers trailing Southern Districts 8-6-44.
And a great fight back, Will, on that. The Tiwi looked like they were going to be gone for all money there, as you quite rightly said. In previous years, they probably would have laid down and gone 4 or 5 goals down. But they kept at it, they kept fighting back, and some brilliance with some of their superstars in Mankara and Cantilla and young Rioli. They just kept themselves in it, and they're right back in this game. Like, there's nothing in it. It's an exciting game of footy to watch, and I'm really glad to be out here at Gardens Oval and watching a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 goals there in that quarter straight from Tiwi Bombers. They went into the half 2-8 and needed to balance up that scoreline. They've done that. Carlson Cantilla, probably the dominant force up there. He kicked 2 goals in that quarter. But Adam Tipping Woody and, of course, Anthony Mankara. What a goal from the two of them. They both kicked some absolute rippers in there.
It was a specky, wasn't it? I tell you, if you look at it home, he's saying, if you just had a quick look, it's only 44 to 54. That's not a very good game. It is a good game. And you don't always have to kick 100 points to be a good game of footy. And this is a hard-fought, physical game being played on no one's terms, really. And I've got to say, I really respect what Tiwi have done here, but I still think Districts have got the class. But we'll see what happens in that last quarter.
Absolutely. Far from over this one. We'll join you after this 3-quarter time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help. with the reasonable cost of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
You definitely don't want that, do you?
Welcome back to Gardens Oval, final quarter here. You're in for an absolutely ripping final 20 minutes. It's 10 points, the margin between Southern Districts and Tiwi Bombers. Absolute game on our hand. First versus second, and what a way to start round 3. I'm Will Zoir, with me Mark Dodge. How do you think this last quarter's going to go?
I think it's going to be more of the same. I still can't pick a true winner here, but yeah, it's a great game to watch on a Friday night. Where else would you rather be, you know?
Absolutely.
NTFL.
Broadbent wrapped up there. We'll have another crack. Tiwi probably just with a little bit more momentum, but it's relatively even. Working it back here now is Cody Chapman. Gets it into Shannon. Gee, that's a very sharp kick. Two forwards nearly cut each other off, but Ross ended up taking the mark about 50 out.
And he put a legal block on the other forward, so that's great play. That's good forward play. Just allow him to take an uncontested mark in the end.
Here comes Ross. Rolling in, probably from the paint by the time he kicks it. Hooks it a long way.
Never looked like it, did he?
No, 3 for a behind. And opens the scoring, which I think they've done every quarter so far. Been fast starters. Southern Districts, Tiwi have had to work their way into each quarter.
And if there is a criticism of Districts, they've been a little bit off on their shots on goal in this last couple of quarters, whereas before that first quarter they were so straight.
Good strong tackle there. Here comes Bedford on the run, but it'll be free kick brought back. This one going to Michael Dunn.
Didn't quite see what it was for, but I think it was an off the ball.
Looks a little bit ginger, he'll be right, but just recovering from that heavy hit. Goes out to Darley, former Giant, former Bulldog at AFL level. Goes down the line.
Kick.
Bedford just trying to muscle his way in there. Kept ball in prime position. Escapes the offender. Now goes inboard to Broadbent and out to McLean. Into the pocket. Tipalura can't keep his hands on it. He'll have another crack at it. Now comes out here to Thompson. Wrapped up, I think is Carlson Cantilla again.
And Tipper did well there. He just held the ball in. Gave him the contest.
Handball nearly comes out. I think it's Carlson Cantilla. Tiwi still hold it. Willie Munkara works it back now inside 50. Mark not taken there. And Adam Tippermoody caresses it over the boundary line.
And they're flying at everything, Tiwi. They're not scared to have a shot at the goal, at the ball in the air, are they?
No, absolutely not. It's credit to, I think, Tiwi's character as well tonight. Very easy to look at this Southern District side and look at it thinking it's a bit too big a mountain to climb, but not Tiwi. They're definitely giving it a crack tonight.
Yep. They're playing honest footy the way Tiwi do, but the thing I like the most is they have tried to settle themselves down and straighten up, and they are looking to get the ball forward with some purpose rather than just the tip and run type thing they usually run, the kick and run, I should say. We're not playing cricket, are we?
Ball comes in now. Ryan out the back, maybe not the option. Bedford has been around it a lot this final quarter. Now handballed from Aquatimi. Darley snaps it inside the centre corridor. Anthony Munkara couldn't take the mark. Only gets it as far out as Cantilla, but he wasn't in the right position. Farah provided good contest and then just barreled down there by Shannon, looking for the run of Ross. Didn't break stride yet, but couldn't keep it alive and just comes off over the Tiwi bench.
And over a couple of Tiwi players that were just having a stretch there.
would have been clear if he had managed to keep possession and keep the ball in there.
Yeah, they were home, weren't they, if they got clear there?
I think they had another runner. It might have been Stevie Motlop, who's moved to full forward in this last quarter. Dennis goes through his hands. Kick forward, but there'll be a free going the way of Palmerston. Of the Tiwi Bombers.
And Roscoe's obviously realised that they have to kick goals to win this, so putting Motlop up forward, I think, is a move that's it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Big fella Broadbent brought back onto his line. They're very sharp on that tonight, aren't they, Dodgy?
Yeah, they're not allowing an inch either way. It's interesting move. I guess it's part of the new rules, the new direction.
Finds Cantilla, rolls around onto his right. High one inboard. Oh, probably, again, not quite the option. Bit too cute with the kick. Spectators offering some advice from centre half back Southern Districts to go out the far side. Very clever toe poke out to Grace. Now he goes inside 50. Stevie Motlop tries to keep it alive, but he doesn't.
It's good to see some young Tiwi supporters here tonight. Obviously live locally, most of these lads, by the looks of it. So, giving us some support and some vocal support, helping us with our commentary. I think.
Absolutely. Nothing like a bit of natural atmosphere.
Indeed. not a huge crowd here tonight, but very vocal and enjoying the game. It's been a fabulous game to watch.
And as we noted, I think at quarter time, plenty of support from the wider football community up here, not just the Southern Districts and Tiwi fan bases.
Correct.
Good to see everyone getting around Gardens Oval for its first home game of the season. Or Premier League game, I should say. There have been other games played here so far.
Yeah, first elite game.
Tiwi now trying to work it out that backside. Plenty of Southern Districts behind the ball, which is where it is now.
Oh, well,
a great tackle there from young Rioli. Not rewarded, and he's just given a little bit of attitude by Jalen Clark. And umpires let it go. So rolling forward there, I think it was Brody Lake. He can't find a target. Here comes Stevie Motlop. Rolls it through. Goals it through.
Yeah.
Southern Districts with the first major of this final quarter.
And Roscoe can say, righto, well, that worked. Even Stevie up forward.
Another one that looked like a bit of a set play, didn't it, Dodgy? They just all knew where to be at the right time.
It did. It was definitely a set play out of that middle and across that half-forward line. And, young Rioli, he's everywhere and he's hard-headed. He's just got to learn just to calm down a little bit. He's going to get hit a bit back because he tackles hard, so he's got to learn he's going to cop a few back. But I thought it was a fair exchange, and I think the umpire did the right thing to let it play on.
And that goal there from Stevie Motlop, just his absolute bread and butter. Saw that plenty of times in Port Adelaide and a Geelong jumper, didn't we?
Oh, definitely. Almost was he a kick away from the grand final with that sort of play. So, fabulous play. It's interesting now, can Tiwi rally again, because they've had a couple of goes of getting within 10 points. They need to sort of get back-to-back goals and really put the pressure on if they're going to be back in it. And once again, Districts, they just got to get another one and they'll sort of probably take the wind out of themselves a bit.
Absolutely, yeah. You do feel like potentially there is a bit of a fork in the road here. Will it be Southern Districts putting their foot down and really claiming this win, or is there a bit more fight?
A bit more character in the Bombers, yeah.
Now tap down.
Oh, roved it beautifully too, off the big rucker.
Very well done by Thompson, inside 50. Not to a target though, again. That's probably been the Devils' backbone for them tonight.
He just needed a short option or a handball out of there so that he could get the place up a bit.
Rioli to Munkara, snap on goal. Tipalura lurking, goes through the wrong side for a behind.
Every time he gets the ball, Munkara, you don't know what he's going to do, do you? He's an exciting player to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I think that 12 months or 24 months he had on an AFL list, you can see it's really set him up for a high quality of disciplined footy.
It is, and he's in everything. He doesn't drift out of it. He's fabulous. So.
Good intercept mark there from Cooper Daly. Tiwi with another opportunity.
I think he's played pretty well tonight, Cooper Daly too. He's been serviceable and strong across that midfield.
Footy photographer Patch Clapp caught on the screen there, nearly getting amongst the action. And that's a good kick forward. Carlson Cantilla, mark not paid.
Gee whiz.
The Bombers fans not happy with that. Joe Farah takes a mark in the back pocket.
I don't know why he wouldn't have paid that, but I guess he's got his reasons.
Potentially touched off the boot there.
Maybe. He didn't call it though.
Now comes down the wing. Will Farah. Oh, good hands there from Jacob Brown. Just held firm. Now plays on. Second guessed himself. Probably needed to go that first option, but this has paid off.
Good enough, yeah.
Kim Cantilla.
Exactly.
Another short, sharp one. Big fella Broadbent.
Yeah, he's been good. I don't know, he wasn't on the ground much in the first half, but he's been strong since he's been back on and been on in the action. And I've seen him kick the footy a couple of times. He came down to Tigerland and had a bit of a run with us for a while, and he's a decent kicker of the footy.
So we'll see how Broadbent goes. He's been absolutely muscled away in the ruck tonight. Now it's a shot on goal. He loves that one. Oh, just fell a little bit short though.
Yeah. It's just unlucky. It's probably just beyond him, the distance, but it was a great effort, and they're just keeping themselves in it, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They're not rolling over just yet, these Bombers.
No.
Brody Lake, draft hopeful a few years ago.
And on this ground, 2 or 3 goals is nothing. You can kick those quickly, so it's just to see which way it goes here.
Good long kick. Farah jumps very early, and here's Brown again. Been very impressive behind the ball.
Very much so. And setting up the play. Just see what he does with the footy. He was a bit wayward.
Kicks it inside the centre corridor. Munkara at the back. Had a few too many to try and get through. Now we'll pick it up. Snaps in the forward pocket. Just too much on it. Gets beyond Tipalura.
Yeah, and Tippett, look, he's just everywhere, and it's just beyond him. But if he'd got hold of that one, they were home there with another goal. So great setup again from Tiwi.
Wyatt Ryan just muscles his way through the ruck there.
He's so strong, isn't he?
Tap down. Schwartz to Johnston and out of danger for now. Big Matt Dennis doing the roving off the little rover Stevie Motlop. Seen that a few times tonight, haven't we? Such a versatile side, but ball just rolls out over the boundary line. Umpire calls it deliberate, does he? No, just a boundary throw in.
And he's been serviceable tonight, Ryan, without being a dominant, but he runs all the time and he gives you something. And, you know, for a guy of his size and his stature, he just keeps giving, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as we said, the two of them, they'll probably fly under the radar a little bit this year, just because when you look at the team sheets and their positioning on the field, they won't have a huge competition most weeks, I'd think.
Yeah.
There will be a few weeks where they'll be tested for sure, but it's a very good asset having both them in the side. Ball now comes forward for Southern Districts. Not cleanly, though, and Hooker just belts it out of there, gets it wide to the wing. It'll keep bouncing. Oh, how will the umpire call this one?
Well, it's got to be deliberate.
Boundary throw-in.
Really? I never understand that rule. It's one of those that frustrates spectators, isn't it? The old deliberate and non-deliberate.
They've been pretty consistent with it tonight. I don't think we've seen any deliberate out of bounds.
No, the umpires have done a great job tonight, we've got to say. They've been good without being imposing themselves too much on the game. It's been great.
And a bit of passion in this one too, and they've been pretty good to settle that down before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, they have.
Now punched forward. Cantilla picks it up, wrapped up, lifted off the ground by his opponent. Good tackle there.
And it's getting to the point where Tiwi definitely need to get one back, or if Districts can put one or two on the board, they'll take it away from them. But it's still an arm wrestle.
Time not a factor, but slowly and surely ticking towards that stage of the game. They get a free kick here, much to the amusement of Cody Chapman. Gets a handball off to McLean, nearly under pressure, but made it work. Goes deep, but sitting there, I think that is Giddings. Connor Giddings has been fantastic for them so far this season.
Playing in a traditional fullback position.
Now goes out again down that far side. Bring it down this side, guys. It'll make it easy for us to see the numbers.
Yeah. I think it's Ryan, is it?
It's big Wyatt Ryan. Can't miss him. His big mullet.
Yeah. It's a good look, that might. You go with that one, Will.
Beckoning his teammates to come to him. Be careful what you wish for, Dodgy.
You go well with the golden locks at the back there, mate. Like a surfer.
Tiwi working it down the far side. Now Sam Darley finds Broadbent, the big fella, too far out from home for this one, but gives it off to the runner. Darley kept going. He gets to the paint, launches and unloads. That one is just, again, touched through, or how does the umpire see it?
Pulled it all clear.
They'll just confer. It looked like it might have just been touched on its way through. Umpire lets it through, so Darley gets a goal.
Umpire's call, yeah.
Absolute ripper that one was.
Goal. Where did he kick that from? 55?
On the paint, I think it was.
Yeah, so
he
50
just
minutes.
kept running through. Got a little 1-2. And, yeah, they definitely needed that one, as we said. Again, now it's less than 10 points, single digits. Single-figure digits.
And now you look at the Districts around the ground, and a few of those guys have got their hands on their knees.
So, yeah, about 53 metres or so.
53, yeah. Gee, it was close on that line, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can't really see from here on the replay even, but it's, umpires. I think the umpires are always in the best position to call that goal. Umpires, I mean, you've got to trust what they say most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in the AFL they do too much of that review stuff. Sometimes you think, really, they're too scared to make a decision.
Yeah, happy to just let the umpires call it as they see it.
Yep.
Ball goes up in the middle. Where to from here? Bombers fans feeling very lively. So too with the players. Southern Districts just trying to keep a strong hold on this one.
I'm just looking around too. The Bombers have set up beautifully behind the play as well. So if there's a break, they're going to be okay to repel. Bit of push and shove going on in the middle.
Tiwi with a fair bit of belief in him. Ryan gets front and centre position in that hit out. Now comes back, Apwami. Tries to pick it up, he does. Comes to ground though, gets a handball away. Not a good one though. Free kick being paid to Tiwi, and they're away. Advantage is called. McLean runs his measure.
Almost got run down.
Now kicks it, spills through the back. Need to be clean here.
No,
they're not. It could be away, or Cantilla maybe let that one go when he could have gone for it.
I think he was thinking it was going to be the deliberate out of bounds, but it's really paid when it comes off the side of the boot like that.
Been quiet this last quarter, Brendan Cantilla.
He has. He dominated early.
So ball will come in Let's see what Broadbent can do. Musling is trying to muscle his way through, but up against the big fella in white, Ryan. Tap down again now. Try to get a handball out. Free kick called for a hold, and Tiwi seeming, no, it'll go to Southern Districts. Young fella gets it down that wing. Can't hit his target though. Goes to the runner. And it's Chapman who kicks it forward. Oh, nearly copped high there was young Brody Grace. Free kick going the way of Southern Districts.
A couple of Tiwi players were caught ball watching there instead of playing looking where their players were. So
haven't quite rolled back quickly enough either.
No, they haven't, no. There are plenty of gaps down there.
Finds one just there. Just a lapse in concentration from the Bombers.
Disappointing they didn't get that next one back, because it would have really, obviously would have eaten the game up. So this might be, it's going to be difficult again. But you can't write these Bombers off tonight. They're just incredible.
16.5 minutes through this last quarter. It's definitely at the pointy end.
Districts keep doing what they need to do. The Crocs are just doing what they need to do, and they're not panicking. They're just playing their game of footy the way they know how to play it.
So in comes Matt Shannon. Kicks it.
Missed out, didn't he?
And he gets it.
He's got it.
So that extends the margin out now to 15 points. And Southern Districts probably just stemmed the flow a little bit there. It was definitely going Tiwi's favour. 10-7-67. They lead Tiwi 7-10-52.
Yeah, they were professional going forward. They just knew what to do there, and it was a good clean footy into forward and a great kick for goal. I mean that didn't look like it was home to me, but it's a bit of a difficult angle. I'll give myself that.
And I think you can tell by their probably reaction at this moment. There was a little cheer from the crowd there, but they know the job's not quite done yet.
No.
Potentially Tiwi a little bit behind the 8 ball. They're still cheering that they're getting back into this game and need to be aware that they've still got their own potentially 6 minutes, potentially 3.5 minutes. Don't know exactly how much left, but we're definitely getting up there. 17:40 on. Now comes to Joe Farah. Just skies it. Good mark there. Composure under the ball. Not quite time to go ball watching, or not ball watching, but to get into tempo footy territory from Schwartz. Now stretching out his calf. Dennis, he couldn't get a mark and hits the deck. And here come the Bombers. What can they do? Goes over the top. It's a 3-on-2. One of the two got it out to the second. And now Chapman, he goes out wide. Again, the Bombers just need to stay alert. This game will slip away from them. Shannon, he goes out to the back. Farah can't take the mark. Picked up now by Ross. Try to keep it alive. He does. And a beautiful kick inboard to find Jed Anderson.
Just give he does his Jed. He's there when they need him, and put himself in a good position, but took a difficult mark. That was tough. He was going forward and the wrong way and was able to hang into it. So
yeah, potentially didn't know it was even coming his way. Ross, probably your instinct would be to go for the miracle at goal or even top of the square, but that he's probably gone backwards 5 or 10 metres to find a teammate open.
Not sure that it was a set play, but it worked well.
Absolutely. Anderson with the 1 goal tonight to start that third quarter. Probably best on ground those first 3. A bit quieter here, but he likes that one. Shotguns toward the crowd, and his teammates get around him.
When you're looking for your best players, they're the guys that you have to put in there in your top 3 or 4, because they just win games when they need it. And you'd say that was a winning goal. It's not all over yet, but at this end of the game, to have that break, you just would say that was almost the icing on the cake for Districts. But what a fabulous mark! I just watched it again on replay. He was going backwards and he toppled backwards and just held the ball in front of him, and that's by no means he wasn't under pressure, but he just slipped forward.
Absolutely, had to attack the ball there, and had to dive for it as he did, but just stayed composed and always kept himself in the contest.
Yeah, 100%. He's fabulous.
What have Tiwi got left in the tank? We are about to tick over 20 minutes into red time here. They trail by 21. Is it too big a margin for them, too big a mountain to overcome.
You'd say you just want to see, as a coach, you just want to see him fight it out here.
Here they come, working inside 50 now. Bounces through a few of them, one-on-one in the square. Coming to it, I think, is Tipalura. On top of it, though, is a Southern Districts defender. We'll have a ball up inside 50. Need a goal from this ball up, you would say.
Oh, yeah, this is it. This is the last roll of the dice for Tiwi. They've got to get a goal here to sort of get something back in it.
Tipalura gets into his hand.
I've liked his last couple of quarters. Tipalura, I think he's been one of the best for Tiwi.
Yeah, slow start, but once he worked into it, we know he can be a very dangerous footballer.
He's a bit similar to Brioli. He takes him a while to get going.
And he was a very important player for them in those times when they were down the bottom of the ladder. So
yeah.
Good to see him hopefully reaping some of the rewards of this. Not necessarily success at the moment, but better form that they're having.
Well, rebuild. They're definitely rebuilding.
So how can Tiwi work it forward from here? Comes down to Daly, spins around one, then gets it to Bedford. Now into Thompson. He goes forward at the fall of it. Mark can't be taken. Sock it through. No, just missed by Munkara. Then goes to put some pressure on and rolled through for a behind. 20 points the margin. He's
certainly exciting, Munkara, down there, as he always has been. And, gets the crowd going when he gets anywhere near the ball. There's a big cheer.
Can he be the man? Stevie Motlop plays on from full-back, goes down that far side.
Roscoe moved Stevie Motlop back down to full-back.
Good mark from Giddings. He's been very impressive for them early. Giddings has.
Yeah, he has. Giddings been great.
Probably one of the best defenders we've seen so far this season. It's early days, but he's got my vote. Now comes forward again for Tiwi. Time now becoming a serious factor for them. McLean, he goes a short one inboard. He finds Jacob Brown, who has more played a defensive role tonight, but potentially could get onto one here.
It'd be a big one. It's going to kick it from outside the paint. So it's probably all or nothing here. I mean, it's even if they get this one, but it's been they just need it for the psychology, really.
Brown, he kicks it. Gee, it's a long kick, isn't it?
Fairly good kick.
Spills over through a few hands. Ball still alive. Pushed over by Willie Munkara. It was Taj Stanley. Played at the AFL Grand Final curtain raiser, Stanley did.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a slower game tonight, but as we mentioned, you can't have all cylinders firing when you've got as many as Southern Districts do. They work it out of their defence. A wall of Bombers. Done. He goes short to McLean. McLean, he'll keep rolling. Goes to a lead. Mark wasn't taken. Southern Districts could be away here.
They've got nowhere to go. They've got every player behind the ball here.
Chapman found the mark. Gave the hands off. And Murphy kicks it into space. It's a 2-on-1. But Southern Districts won't be too upset with that at all. Tiwi a bit sloppy with it when they should have been clean. Now out to McLean again. He's probably the one who's giving it his all in these last few minutes. But that kick not a good one. Although here they come, and there's the final siren. So it wasn't to be. Southern Districts remain undefeated in these early stages of season 24-25. 11-7-73. They've beaten the Tiwi Bombers 7-11-53 by 20 points. Mark, who do you see as your best on ground tonight?
You'd have to give it to Jed Anderson. I think he was just there when needed. To me, he was the player that was the difference when the chips were down. I thought Ryan played a great game in the ruck there. He didn't do much wrong. And Giddings on the back line, but then if you look at it, Tiwi, obviously Munkara, he just gives them something always down there, doesn't he? And in spurts, people like Benny Rioli, sorry, not Benny Rioli,
Braden Rioli.
Benny Rioli, jeez. Braden Rioli, they gave him plenty around the ground. So, I mean, it wasn't a dominant win, I wouldn't have thought, for Districts, but it was just a workmanlike win, and they'd be pretty happy to get the points here in a game where, Tiwi had a bit of control there in the third quarter particularly.
Yeah, absolutely. That man on screen, Jed Anderson, my best on ground tonight. I think he was fantastic the whole way through, and even when he was a bit quiet in that last quarter, he kicked what was in the end the ceiling goal. I also loved the game of White Ryan. I think you're right there. And for Tiwi, I really like the games of Carlson Cantilla. He really brought them back to life in that third quarter, and also another one has just slipped my mind. Sorry. But Brendan Cantilla, he was probably best on ground alongside Jed Anderson for those first 3 quarters. So.
Oh, he was. He just did he fade that last quarter, I thought. But you know, like they're players that Tiwi can look to build this season. And they're going to come up against sides that are not as strong as districts, and they may well get the points on those ones. So that's a good game for them to have a hit out at. Bowden can have a look at that and go, okay, well, here's some areas we can improve on. We were about 80%, 70-80%, and that's, you know, coaches talk about being 70-80% most of the time. That's what you need to be. Over a period of a year, you're going to win more games than you're going to lose doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic game here in the end, and it was Southern District's 20-point winners in this top-of-the-table clash. They're definitely the front runners, but I think from the display we saw tonight, Tiwi, the most exciting team of the season and probably the most excitable fan base as well. So we look forward to covering both these teams going forward. Been a fantastic night here at Gardens Oval. Look forward to sharing more of the footy with you throughout the season. Thanks for joining us.